He said, Bills are one-dimensional. I think we match up incredibly well. I think we can go 5-2 the rest of the season reasonably easy. All right. Interesting. So, you know what? With Reggie bringing that up, Pages Football Breakdown, I love to do something. Every time that we go live, at least to do these post-game recaps, I love to kind of look at where we are within the season and kind of give our predictions on how do we think the rest of the season can go. And after seeing how the Patriots have played the last 3 weeks, and I think this will be an excellent clip to actually put up on the YouTube channel. I'm going to pull this up here. I'm going to pull this up for us, pull up the schedule. So Reggie thinks that we can go 5-2 the rest of the season reasonably easy.
I think that's pretty reasonable, targeted final record. I mean, Tennessee at home, obviously Tennessee is great this year. They're 8-2, but I don't think that's a pretty bad matchup for us. I think we match up with Tennessee pretty well. I think we both do the same, kind of things. We're going to have that game at home, 1:00 game, 6-1 in the 1:00 window this year. I actually kind of like our chances against Tennessee in that particular spot. Buffalo, got 2 games with them. Buffalo is still a solid team. They're a little bit down, though, and I thought they would be down going into this season. They're playing a first-place schedule this year. They're kind of the hunted, not the hunters anymore. And like Reggie said, they are kind of one-dimensional. I don't think they're running the ball as well as they did last year. It's a little more just all on Josh Allen, the passing game. Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, and Beasley there. But, I think we got a good chance to, at the very least, split with them. We played them tough in Buffalo last year. If not for the fumble, on the last drive there, arguably we could win that game. The matchup at home was kind of a washout, but by that time in the season, that we were pretty much done anyway. I think guys pretty much knew where we were headed, which was nowhere last year. But I think this year with this new energy this team has, and the way Buffalo is kind of taking a step back a little bit, I absolutely think we have a chance to at least split with them. And Jacksonville, Miami to end the season, 2 very winnable games. Indianapolis, you never know what you're going to get from them. Carson Wentz is a turnover factory. Atlanta this week. Atlanta's no great shakes at all. I mean, they're coming off a beatdown. They're at home on prime time, so are they going to be a little more, ready to play? Sure, probably, but I still don't think they're all that talented. I think 5-2 is completely reasonable.
I 100% agree. I don't see any flaw in what Reggie is saying in this one. Looking at the schedule at this point, I mean, I think Atlanta was getting a little bit hot. I mean, Atlanta's a team that you're talking about potentially squeezing in, being one of those last teams in the NFC to squeeze into the playoffs there. But this week, they did not look good. This week, they did not look good at all. Cordero Patterson also looks like there's a very good chance he won't be playing in this upcoming game, which is a very, very big loss for one of the most explosive players to emerge in the NFL this season. So
it's pretty still safe. Out too, if I'm not mistaken.
Who's still out?
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley will also still be out as he deals with personal reasons.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with him, but I genuinely do hope that all is okay. I'm hearing might be mental illness and what isn't all from what I'm hearing, which if you have to take a step away from football because it's that bad, I mean, genuinely, I do hope everything is good with Calvin Ridley. But from a football standpoint, I think New England beats Atlanta. Like you said, Tennessee, probably the hardest matchup at this point for the rest of the season. I would say, I mean, they are right now pinned as the number 1 team in the AFC, looking to get that first round bye in the playoffs. But they did lose Derrick Henry. They don't exactly look like that top-notch dynamic team. They did sign Adrian Peterson, but Adrian Peterson, again, obviously is not Derrick Henry, is not anything close to Derrick Henry at this point.
What's left of Adrian Peterson anyway?
Yeah, and I think this is a winnable game for sure. I definitely do. I think that, it's at home. We'll have to see how New England continues to play at home. I think is going to be the big one because, for the majority of the season, they were great on the road, not so great at home. They won their last 2 matchups at home, so we'll have to continue to see how that is going to pan out. But definitely for sure, I think that this is a winnable game, but this is going to be the toughest game for New England. And then moving on to Buffalo, I mean, to go from Tennessee to Buffalo, that's going to be a really tough, 2 weeks here back to back for the New England Patriots. You could look at that from a concern standpoint, from a stamina standpoint, and have concerns, or you can look at it from a positive standpoint and say, well, you know what? You're coming off of a tough game. You're already in that mentality just to go into another tough game and already have that mentality. So you can really look at it from either way. I do think that New England definitely will at the least. I think at the least New England is going to split with Buffalo. And depending on how Buffalo plays the next 2 weeks up until we play them, maybe New England can even win both of those games. Like you mentioned, this is not the same Buffalo Bills team that we have seen. Stephon Diggs, not even close to being as dynamic as he was last year. I don't know what's going on with that whole situation. I definitely think that if you want to get more dynamic, if you're the Bills offense, you got to get Stephon Diggs more involved, because nowhere is he close to being the same that he was last year. Just in general, the biggest issue with the Buffalo Bills is their offense, their chemistry, their identity. This is the worst possible time for them to have lost it, but they did. And New England needs to take advantage of that. New England needs to take advantage of that loss of that offensive identity, because if you look at the Patriots, you look at, last year, you look at even earlier this season, when a team doesn't have that offensive identity and you can take advantage of that, that can result in big deficits. That can result in big turnovers. And if anyone is going to take advantage of that, I do believe it is Bill Belichick. Obviously, the Colts do not look like a good team this year. I do not know what is going on with them. They look good at some moments and then they're falling other moments. I think that I'm not really worried about that game with how New England's been playing. I think that the Patriots will win that game. We already talked about Buffalo here. And then to end the last 2 weeks, Miami and Jacksonville, two of the worst teams in the league. New England, I think, easily comes out and wins those games for sure. So I don't think it is unreasonable at all. As long as this team can stay healthy, I don't see why this team cannot go at least 5-2. So I completely agree with Reggie. That is kind of the outlook here on the rest of the season. But real quick, I do want to give a big shout out to the sponsors of the video and the sponsors of this channel, betonline.ag. If you guys are looking to bet anywhere, there's no better place to do so than BetOnline, guys. They are back and better than ever, as all eyes are on the Gridiron teams. They are back to start yet again another football season, and as always, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all pro and college football action this season. With a new updated site and interface and even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. All you guys got to do is head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 100% off welcome bonus. That is double your initial deposit just for signing up. Do not forget to use that promo code NFL100. Again, that is NFL100. All the way from football to basketball to boxing, even right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Do not wait to take advantage of all of the amazing offers still available for the 2021 season. Again, BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.